shit for a minute, okay?
Okay.
So, like, today I was really wanting to cancel practice. I'm not even gonna bullshit y'all. We did a poll, like, not really a poll.
That's the wrong one. Oh.
I keep drinking it.
I was watching you. I was like, all right.
I was what the fuck? Like, we already established that wasn't good, and you just keep drinking it, like,
We're full send in here.
Now, what was you saying? I'm sorry.
So, like, I wanted to cancel practice and shit, right?
Oh, shit.
Because I feel like shit. Only 3 kids are going to show up to practice.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm getting somewhere with all this. You know, I really wanted to cancel. But by the time I realized there was only going to be 3 kids, it was 4:15. Practice was at 5. I'm like, I feel like that's too late to cancel at that point. You know? So, like, fuck it. I'll just go ahead and have practice. Worst case scenario, what I'll do is we'll just cut it short once we're there, you know? But I'm going to be real. I'm glad that we did that practice because the 3 kids that showed up, well, the one that showed up, he was the one that has definitely been struggling. Like, he was playing leapfrog in the middle of the game.
Hell yeah.
I told them that you got to, like, for a chest pass, you go from chest to pass to chest. And the kid literally lifts his shirt up and puts the ball on his chest. I'm not trying to.
That's awesome.
I'm just like, yeah. And I forget, you know, even though I just coach Smurf football, it's one of those things. These kids take everything you say so literally. But like, you know what? I was like, you know what? We're still gonna do practice.
Yeah.
And we started working with him. And his mom came up to me and she's like, "Listen, be as strict as you need to be on here." She's like, "I know who my kid is. I know how he is.
So
do what you got to do as a coach." I'm like, okay. And you know what? We kept snapping him back to attention. And he actually made like 3 baskets today. Because he actually took the time to actually listen to what we said. I let one of our kids help, like that was actually making baskets and games and shit. Because I was like, you know, maybe I'm missing the point. I forget, you know, my brain doesn't work the same way a 5 or 7-year-old is. I'm explaining the best way I know how. The kids started explaining it, and he started making it. I'm like, well, shit. You know, and I forget that with coaching and shit, you got to do that shit sometimes.
You got to break it down as many as you can.
Because kids definitely comprehend shit at different levels. So you got, if they can help each other comprehend it.
Also, all kids learn different, too.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, you know.
What's the lowest level you've coached?
Smurf.
Oh, you coached Smurf?
Yeah.
So this was my first year, your first year coaching Smurf. Tracy Havens, he told me best. He said, when you talk to these kids, man, you got to tell them exactly what you want them to do.
The literal definition.
We were going to do 40-yard sprints. You remember that?
Yeah.
20-yard sprints. 20-yard sprints. And I said, all right, line up. I'm going to say go. You're going to run. We're going to time you. That's what I said. That was the definition. That was the instructions I gave, not definition. I said, all right, set, go. Everybody took off running. I'm like, no, one person. And that's when I learned this ain't Pee Wee football. We in the Smurfs.
Yeah.
And this is what I call that is good quality podcast material right there.
Oh, absolutely.
And by the way,
That
welcome
would
to
be
the
perfect.
basement, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the basement. You just want to roll with it?
Well,
Hell yeah, let's just roll with it. So let's just go ahead and introduce ourselves. I don't know how I'm sounding on the mic right now because they won't give me a mic, but I'm just playing.
You don't need one. You're loud as fuck.
So, we're doing you guys a favor by not giving them a bite.
Also, let's be honest. We can't figure it out. We're just winging it.
Yeah, it's what it says. We're 3 dudes in the basement. It's cold down here. We just hanging out. So another thing is, man, I'll just go ahead and introduce myself. My name's Andrew O'Donnell. I coach youth football, travel football, rec football. Go ahead, Drew. Introduce yourself.
My name's Drew. I coach football, sometimes basketball. Not very often basketball. Yeah, man. I mean, that's pretty much it.
I'm Hunter. I started helping coach Smurf football. Got thrown into being a head coach for Smurf basketball. I haven't played since I was about Smurf basketball age, so it's definitely been an experience.
What one thing is that you got in this basement with you is 2 individuals that played on a championship team in the building. that you're coaching in.
Absolutely.
So if you need help, you're starting point guards here. You're starting centers here.
Yeah.
Defending champs, 1998, Bluefield Rec Center.
Hey, I tell y'all every night I have practice, where y'all be? Where y'all at?
I'm probably at home.
I'm busy.
Okay.
I'm practicing travel football.
What?
Are you really
one day
there?
a week?
Yeah, my one day.
Are you there?
You got less kids showing up than I've got. I'm still having 3 kids show up.
Hey, but the kids that are showing up are tearing it up, and I love them.
Hey, on some real shit though. I actually reached out to the mom of that one kid, and I actually thanked her for bringing him consistently. You know, because I'm gonna be honest, I tried Levi with soccer, and he was like the youngest age you could do.
So Levi's your son.
Yeah, Levi's my son. I forget. You guys are still learning me, but Levi's my son, and he played soccer, and he was like barely old enough for it.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I did the first practice. And after that first practice, that was it. I bought him brand new Nike cleats. I brought him brand new shin guards that matched the cleats. I was going all out with it, but I realized after that one practice, I was like, he ain't ready for this. But then I looked at that kid out there, and his mom's making him stick with it. So I reached out to her. I was like, you know what? I just want to let you know, I appreciate you, keep bringing him out. We're going to keep working with him. We're going to get him better. We're going to get him there. And, I just respect and appreciate that dedication.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that, me as a parent, I failed Levi by just yanking him after that first practice. And I think that's the one thing that I've learned from coaching is, especially after you finish a full season, you got to go through that whole season. You can't just base it off that first practice, because that first practice of us as Smurfs, I was about to just be like, what the hell did you get me into, Andrew? It was bad.
Going on to that, last year, both my sons played football this year. But last year I only had one of my sons, Uriah, play football. If you would have watched him last year, he didn't want to hit nobody. He cried a little bit. He was scared. And he laid a good hit in practice. Mm-hmm. And we're like, all right, cool, man. One of the coaches hollered at me, Josh. He hollered at me to come down there. He said, watch Uriah hit this kid. Watch Uriah hit this kid. I go down there. Uriah's running the ball. He lowered his shoulder, run the kid over. I'm like, all right, this is a month and a half into practice at this point. I'm like, finally, he's acting like old dad here. No, I'm just playing. Finally. So we go down to Bluefield. And Uriah comes from one side of the field to the other and lays a big hit on a kid on the sideline. We're like, bam, he earned a big hitter hit, right? That day, that next practice. We're like, well, he's on to something. I was going to yank him from football at first, wasn't I, Drew? You was there. I was like, this ain't for him. Yep. This ain't for him. He won big hitter that night. The next day, what happened, Drew? Broke his hand in gym class. Ended the football season.
Yeah, the gym teacher, man. It's like, I don't even know, what you're doing with our football players down here. But I feel like a lot of times in youth sports anyway, all it takes is for a kid to make one big play. Mm-hmm. And then they realize, hey, I can do this. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've seen several kids throughout the years, that's happened with.
Yeah, but back with Uriah, like I said, I talked about him last year. This year, he played quarterback for us, didn't he, Hunter?
Yeah, he did.
He had over 800 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns?
Jesus, I don't even know.
Yeah, that's the same kid. Great improvement. So what I was saying is, I'm not bragging about him at all, because I got another son on the team named Cameron. But what I'm saying is we make that mistake of wanting to pull him right there. I almost pulled him.
Yeah.
But look at the potential that it grew into.
Also, I feel like as a parent, the first time your kid gets hurt or hit really hard, your parental instinct kicks in, and you're like, I can't watch my kid do it. I know when my boys first played, both of them at the same time, and my youngest, he was, he was actually moved up. He could have played down, but he wanted to play with his brother. So it was one of those situations where the first time he got hit real hard, I was like, oh man, I might have messed up. But I made him stick it out, and he might not like to run it in practice because he's a lineman, obviously, by looking at me. But, he loves the game of football, So I feel like even though I pushed him the first year to play up, it's paid off for him.
Oh,
I know
absolutely.
last year on our Pee Wee team, he was probably our most solid lineman, and that's not because he was my kid.
I coached with you. I
You
agree.
know,
I was on that Pee Wee team.
Our Pee Wee team last year was a really good team. But I just feel like, sometimes you got to push your kids out of their comfort zone because that's what happens in life anyway.
Absolutely.
This is out of my comfort zone, being on camera, to be honest with you.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's something that I want to do. So sometimes you got to step out of your zone just to figure out, what you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's 100%. I'm not out of my zone talking in front of people. 10 years ago, I would never have done this. Now, I talk in front of 80, 100 people a day. It don't bother me anymore. But what does bother me a little bit, getting used to stepping out of my comfort zone, I expect everything to work and work perfectly. And when we have technical difficulties, that's when I start getting negative, and that's when I start getting down. So I'm glad I got these guys with me. They kind of keep pushing me forward.
Well, your anxiety was through the roof tonight then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm about to smash this whole table.
Absolutely.
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash.
Yeah. Ironically enough, was my nickname in Little League football 55 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I'm an old ass. Ain't that right, honey?
Hey, yo,
It'd
we
be
the
like
same
that.
age. We the same age.
All right, so I got a question for you. I read an article the other day,
What you got?
Okay.
and I found it was interesting because around here we have our rec league, during normal football season,
Right.
and then you have travel league, or I don't call it travel league, but travel ball.
Right.
So now travel ball is extending all the way until rec league.
It is.
I read the article I read was talking about, it wasn't necessarily football, but it was like baseball, basketball.
Right.
It
All the
did mention
sports.
football, but it was all sports.
Yeah.
So it said, is travel ball going to kill rec ball? What do y'all think about that?
Absolutely. I feel like the only way it won't is for the ones that can't afford travel. But then you're going to look at the situation of, then you're going to have parents that can't afford to do travel ball if they just won't have kids in rec league, and then they just won't get to play sports until they get to like middle school or high school, and then then you're losing out on developmental years, like the early years. So then middle school and high school coaches are going to have a lot tougher job, and it's basically just going to be because a kid didn't have as much money.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely what it is. Like I said, I coach travel football. We went straight in from rec football straight into travel football, and we played. We started our first tournaments at the beginning of December. We're into January now, and we probably played 12 games already.
Didn't y'all play in November?
Yeah, we played in November too. The end of November we played. So yeah, we probably played 12, 13 games now. And the thing about it is a money thing. You're paying $100 to $200 for uniforms. You got to have your own equipment. Your helmets, if you want a good helmet, you're looking anywhere from $350 to $600.
You better get on Afterpay.
Yeah, get on Afterpay. If you're a first responder, Shutt gives you a 15% discount. It's great. You got to have your own shoulder pads. You got to have your cleats because everybody wants to look the same. Because when you're in travel ball, it's like, I hate to use this word, but it's kind of like All-Star League. Everybody's wanting to be a superstar. They want to be these NFL players. They're not wanting to mismatch. They're not wanting to do anything like that.
Speaking of superstars, have y'all seen that video that Blaze kid? That kid is I've never seen a kid. This kid got a 6-pack, and I'm not even close to kidding.
Like, how old are we talking?
Tyreek Hill came to the gym he was working out to race him in a 40-yard dash. That's how fast this kid is.
How old is this kid?
I think Blaze is probably 12, 13 years old
No,
now.
so
Maybe. But when I started watching him, he was like 7. I'm talking about a Smurf kid. I watched clips of him playing like travel ball or whatever.
Now, is
He's from
Blaze
Florida,
like
I think.
his biological name, or is that a nickname?
Yeah.
Because it's really weird. I don't know if I should really say the dude's name like live on a podcast.
Is he somewhere around here?
Yeah, he was, because I listed with him.
Oh,
Well,
so
like-
he's military.
Yeah, he was military.
Ah, okay.
And, I guess I could always say it, and then if we decide later on we can censor it out or whatever.
Well, how do you think he would feel about it?
I don't know.
Let's just say military.
But
guy.
all right, well, his first name was Blazing Forest. One word.
Nice.
Blazing Forest.
I respect it.
I'm just like, that's like, I was like, okay. I was like, that's actually the coolest name ever.
Yeah.
You should have seen them whenever we were like, doing all of our processing paperwork. Every station we went to, the NCO there was just looked back up at him like, what?
I mean, I do the same thing. I mean,
I didn't mean to cut you off, but that just threw me off because that's not something that you hear very often.
No, it's not. It's definitely not.
Well, back to the conversation. I'll get off that kid because I'm sure. I mean, you can go on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, whatever. You can find this kid. He's all over the place.
But I will say this: with this back in that travel football, it's not just kids like that. There's kids like that everywhere.
Yeah.
When we go up to Charleston, West Virginia and do these tournaments, I see 12U kids that if you would have told me there was a small college team, I'd have believed you. I would have believed you.
Yeah.
Them kids are good. They're different.
Yeah.
They're different.
I mean, I feel like even in our small area in southern West Virginia, I feel like we have several solid travel teams. I mean, we got some solid football players around here. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got the kid from Princeton. He's about to go to Penn State.
Boo!
Yeah. I mean, he chose Penn State over West Virginia. So I mean,
I know. I'm proud of him, man.
Yeah,
proud of a guy.
He's representing our area. So,
absolutely.
I mean, I'm going to pull for him. That's we'll leave.
That's right.
There.
We'll pull for him.
But hey, you know what? At the end of the day, if you're a D1 recruit, you're gonna go to where you feel like you fit in the best.
Absolutely.
Regardless
I'm not hating on you.
You know, I mean, none of us in this room were D1 athletes. I mean, let's be real about it.
Absolutely not, or else we wouldn't start up a podcast like
this. I mean, maybe we were a little lazy, didn't put the work in. I mean, it is what it is. But
I went to a D1 school. Does that count?
That does not count.
Did you play football there?
He played in a chess club.
I was invited to Liberty's bowl game.
As a student?
Yeah.
It was pre-sale tickets.
It
was a pre-sale code.
It'd be like that fucking Texas Aggie guy. Fighting Texas Aggie. You know what I'm talking about? Did you see that video?
Hey, I will say this. Whenever I was doing my medic training and shit for the Army. So the Army, I'm sure you guys have seen, like, they have, like, those all-star games for high school recruits, right?
Yeah.
So they did it in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome.
Ooh.
So we were actually mandated to go.
I would have been all over
day. Well, I win. I didn't have a choice. We were
told,
told
like,
you are going. It's not
So
you can go if you want to go. No, like we went, and it was actually really awesome because there was a lot of recruits there. You're talking about all of them are at least 4 to 5 star recruits that are playing there. Like, this is an all-star high school game. You're basically watching a college game at that point.
Oh, I get it.
Realistically.
Dude, like I said, them 12-year-old kid, I watched this 12-year-old quarterback throw 15 passes in a row of a 12 to 13-yard slant pass, throwing it, smacking kids right in the chest over and over and over and over.
Big dog been playing too much college football 25, hitting them slant routes.
But it was unstoppable. I watched him.
This dude knows all about some fucking slant routes. Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls.
This dude
Tom Brady jersey.
Hey, you know what else he knows about? How to deflate footballs.
Man. Hey, let me ask y'all both a question.
Yep.
Was y'all alive when your team never won a Super Bowl?
Right,
I said, was you alive last time?
All right, buddy.
Because I've won. My team's won. I ain't won shit, but my team's won 2 since I've been alive.
All right, listen. I want to hear you say it out of your own filthy mouth.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
What you got?
Who is the only team that's went undefeated, had the perfect season, and won the Super
Didn't
Bowl?
y'all play like 6 games back then?
Hey, listen. I don't care how we played. What was the regulation season? So what team was it? What team was it?
Hey, you know what though?
What team was it?
1988 West Virginia Mountaineers.
Well, I'll take that. But it was the 1972 Miami Dolphins. Thank you.
Wasn't it also the 1993 Mountaineers?
That too. But then we lost in the national championship.
Don't forget.
Yeah, we did.
With him being Tom Brady fan. Tom Brady had, what was it, 17 or 18 wins?
I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers
fan. He had, 17, 18 wins in a season?
And then he lost.
And then he had one, I guess you could say a giant loss.
Oh, man.
In the one game that mattered.
That stings a little.
Oh, this guy. This guy.
But I've never been a New York Giants fan in my life, and I really hate the Jets. But, You know, I was a Giants fan that day because they almost broke Miami's record. They almost did it.
Oh, I think that was one of those times that America was a Giants fan. Like,
I'll be 100% honest with you guys since we're going to talk about Brady. I was not a Brady fan when he was at New England at all. I did not like that, man.
then all of a sudden he brings the damn Super Bowl to Tampa Bay to retire.
I seen the news flag because I subscribed to all these Tampa Bay pages. I seen months before he signed with Tampa Bay that Tom Brady might be coming to Tampa Bay. And you talk about a kid on Christmas, I was like, no way! Yes!
Well, speaking of Tampa Bay, and you're a Tampa Bay fan,
Yeah, boy.
let's talk about some Tampa Bay news. What about this fucking yellow belly off? Oh, I said the F word. I'm sorry.
You talk about
this?
Dude, I don't even want to talk about this dude. This Liam Cohen. This is my shout out of the week. Liam Cohen.
Oh.
You are the epitome of spineless. You go. I want to look dead at the camera. You go and interview for a job. You back out of the job. You tell everybody, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, I'm no longer interested in this job. I want to stay with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay offers you the biggest contract for any coordinator in NFL. You say you're going to sign it the next day. What happens the next day? Tampa Bay calls you. Everybody's calling you, but you ghost them because you went to Jacksonville to sign a contract. You, sir, are a douchebag, and I hope y'all lose every single game.
No.
I hope y'all lose every single game.
Yeah,
I don't have no hate
get
for
that number one pick.
I have no hate for Jacksonville Jaguars, but I hope y'all lose every game. And yeah, I don't even want to talk about him no more.
Well, if my cousins from Jacksonville watch this, they might not like that. But
That's a podcast duck.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. I'm in trouble. It's 11:45 at night, and I haven't done nothing yet.
Hey, we're doing something.
Hey, we're getting there.
We are getting there.
It's a slow process. But anyways, back to this. So, Jacksonville Jaguars. You probably don't have to worry about them winning many games.
Trevor Lawrence is a bum.
Hey, well,
Trevor
Lawrence don't have no help.
That was the best prospect since Peyton Manning.
he don't have any help. Who has he had as
I'm
help?
telling you, that's what they said during the draft process. Whenever
Okay.
he was drafted, he was he was the number one pick. They said he is the best
All right, listen.
prospect since Peyton
We're
Manning.
going to stop this Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville hate.
Can we talk about Tampa Bay for a second? Can I ask y'all a question?
But who has Trevor Lawrence had to help him? Travis Etienne?
Well, hell, he's been there, what, 5 years? Burrow was drafted in what? Well,
Oh, here we go with this shit.
hey, I'm just using this as a reference because he was drafted the number one overall pick the year after Burrow.
Well, they had to make draft you number one. It felt bad for him for leaving you at home all them years by himself.
Jesus.
Hey, well, I'm going to get my shout out of the week here in a minute, but go ahead and you can talk about Tampa Bay.
Oh, no, what did you say about Burrow?
No, I actually wasn't talking about Burrow. I was talking about Jacksonville. Jacksonville has been mediocre to maybe average at best.
Who?
Jacksonville.
Average?
I said average at best.
That's a bold statement.
I don't.
Yeah, everything's good.
I don't think that Jacksonville's been that great. You know.
Yeah, that's probably an understatement, but okay.
Hey, I'm trying to give credit, as much credit as possible. You know, because I still look at it as if a team does bad, they're still in the fucking NFL. They are still the most elite athletes as far as it goes, as far as football goes. So even the worst teams could smoke the best college teams.
Oh,
So I
we're
still-
gonna do this, huh? I know, I agree with you on
Yeah, their NFL talent's different.
So I do
NFL
try to give
it's-
props as much as possible whenever it comes to that, because I do try to factor that in. But Jacksonville's had low to mid-range draft picks. They haven't had like the 32nd pick. They haven't had the 30th pick. Like they've had low picks, and they've chose not to draft people.
So
That's
would you
true.
say that they're the worst drafters, or is there a
No.
team up north?
Which team up north are you
No,
talking
there's
about?
a team in South Beach, Florida. That's worse.
Oh no! Don't shout out your own team like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Browns, who I know you're trying to
Yeah.
aim at,
The
look
mistake
at
by
Baker
the lake.
Mayfield though. Like
Baker,
Hey, he's
don't you talk about Baker.
No, I'm actually giving him props right now, is what I'm getting at. You know, they had him for all those years and then they cut him, saying, he ain't our guy, he isn't our guy. And then he goes, you know, where did he go? Wasn't it like the
Carolina.
Yeah, he went to Carolina.
And then the Rams.
Yeah, he bounced around for a bit.
He was there.
He was there for like a few months. I think that they did one of those things where they actually put him on defense on the practice squad at one point or something.
They did.
Before they cut him.
They really trashed my man.
No,
they
I'm not
trashed
joking.
my man.
Yeah, and then he went to the Rams and whenever Matt Stafford got hurt, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so they put Baker Mayfield in, and then he shined. And then they said, well, and then Tim Ben's like, hold up now, you know, we lost Brady, we ain't got nobody else.
And Tampa Bay signed you to a prove-it deal. They didn't give him a whole lot of money. They said, prove it. Prove that you're the man.
Look, I'm all about prove it deals.
And he did it. He did it.
I am all about
Don't forget where he went to college.
Yeah, I don't recognize that college. He went to Texas Tech first.
Is that any better?
That's like saying Joe Burrow went to Ohio State.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
Well, the one follower we got from Texas might be a Texas Tech fan, so sorry, pal.
I am from an hour and a half south of Lubbock, so I'm not hating on Texas Tech, even though it is a Big 12 rival, and that's the team to beat is West Virginia. What they say? Big 12 comes through where?
Yep.
Morgantown.
Yep.
I'm gonna believe in that. Don't you laugh. Where's my boo button at? I know he's about to talk about Virginia Tech.
I ain't that talking. Shit, we're all about it. Like, I will give whoever Virginia Tech social media people are, they deserve all the fucking money because they have us so hyped every year. All these fan boards and shit have us so hyped. Like, Drones is gonna do so fucking good.
Who?
Kyron Drones is the best.
Is that their quarterback?
Yeah, Kyron Drones. He's actually
he's
Cam Ward from Miami.
Yeah.
They're actually cousins.
Oh, yeah?
Like close cousins, like grew up together cousins and shit.
Trash.
Fuck you.
Hey, you want to talk about overhyped? How about day one of the college football season in Morgantown? Man, I was ready to run through a brick wall for Neil Brown.
Are you talking about, was that Penn State?
Yeah, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Pat McAfee was
Pat
there.
McAfee was there. 2 days
MGK
there.
was there performing.
Yeah.
Trash.
He was there. I was ready, man. I'm like, West Virginia football is back. We wasn't. We wasn't.
We're back now, damn it.
Rich Rod. Woo! Yeah.
Look, I'll be honest. I'm not, for once, I'm not trying to talk shit or hate. This season, I don't think y'all are going to make it to the playoffs. But I do believe with it. Hey, I'm trying to give you some props. I'll cut the shit short, okay?
Where's the Black Diamond Trophy?
We leased it to y'all so you guys can get some fucking recruits.
We don't lease, our credit's bad. We're keeping that shit.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why you guys won't play us again. You guys got that fucking trophy and be like, nah, we don't want to play y'all.
I'm not gonna get political. Never mind.
Let's
not do that. I was gonna make a political joke, but we're not doing political jokes at all.
Yeah, that was like the first thing.
All I'm gonna say is he said West Virginia's credit's bad. Look who ran the state the last 8 years. That's all I need to say. But anyways, it's a joke.
Don't talk about baby dog.
I ain't hating on Big Jim.
Hey, which state signs your paycheck though?
I do work for the state of Virginia though, but that's all I can say about that.
No, you know what? Speaking of, I owe the state of West Virginia $1,000 fucking.
No, you want to talk about owing people money? I hope the AEP's president's watching this.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Fuck
you know
AEP.
what? I owe y'all way too much money this month.
Yeah, for real.
And I'm not very happy about it. That's why I'm in the basement doing a podcast. So I can pay my daggone electric bill.
I'm gonna be honest with you, if you're watching, I probably just ain't gonna pay you.
I'm gonna hook up my generator.
Hey, is this your OnlyFans?
I'm gonna steal my neighbor's electricity.
You run one of that big old orange extension cords.
Yeah. Long my refrigerator running, boy, I got propane. I don't even care.
Absolutely.
Hey, our propane's out right now though.
So,
Let's don't do that, man.
oh
That'd be
no,
cold.
our propane heater did go out. It's very cold down here. But hey, oh man, I about tripped over this chair. That's all we need on the Basement Podcast. Speaking of shout outs, can I give a personal shout out real quick? Because we're about 30 minutes, We about 30 minutes in, and there's a man that has been riding my butt for a week, telling me how am I going to ask for followers, and I'm not even pushing content. How are you a content creator when you're not even pushing content? So if you are that top fan, that top badge that you bragged about at work all week, and you should have made it to 30 minutes of this podcast watching. Joshua Sams, this is for you. I hope you're watching this. This is your shout out, and you're still the ugliest woman I've ever seen. You know what?
I don't know you, but thanks for watching.
Yeah, truthfully, anybody that's made it to this point, we do appreciate you, because we know this is going to be a little bit of a rough ride.
This is the best podcast you've ever heard, and don't lie about it.
I mean, the quality is probably not the greatest, because I'm going to be real. We ain't that smart. That's why I got my degree in criminal justice and never finished electrical engineering.
I wonder how much it would cost us to hire Dr. Dre to hook us up a set.
Yeah.
Probably a lot more money than all three of us have combined.
However, by the time we're probably going to record a couple more podcasts similar to like this quality and everything. But
I'm
here
not grabbing
soon,
a kid. I want a beer, bro.
here soon, we're going to have better video. I don't know about audio. We're going to have better video. They gave me a mic. They gave me a live mic.
Get off of it.
Anyways, so we're going to have better video quality. I don't know about audio quality because, we ain't figured that part out yet. Holy crap. What's up? But anyways, we're going to have some people here that's going to record a little bit better. So it's going to be pretty awesome. We're going to have a lot more video content. I know I made a quick little video earlier just trying to be funny. But what did you think about that, Drew?
What, the video?
Yeah, we put it on Facebook, on Reels.
Oh, yeah.
And TikTok. Follow the TikTok.
You should go watch it, and you should like it, and you should comment, and you should follow our page for sure.
And favorite it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Anything you do helps us, honestly.
It's currently 20 degrees outside.
It's cold.
And Hunter decided to leave the podcast to go pee, and he left the door wide open. And I'm very salty about it.
He's a
But-
jackass.
So, what else you got going on?
No, not much
Kids.
really, man.
Us.
So, that's what it is. I shared. We were supposed to have Mayhem on the Mountain down in Welch, West Virginia, a travel football tournament this weekend. Unfortunately, if we would have showed up, we would have been ice skating. The field was terrible conditions, so that has been postponed. I will keep it updated on the page. Shout out to Aaron Hood for putting that out. That's
sure.
awesome. It's great what you're doing for the kids. Also, I coached Montcalm Will General. Shout out for my boy Noah that you sent me. He was a great addition to our team. So shout out for that. And you want to end this one?
We'll just keep rolling with it.
Hey,
Keep rolling. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Hey, I still haven't given my shout out of the week.
Oh, go yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well, I'm
me too.
sorry, you just rolled out in the middle of the podcast.
Well, you know what? It was either that or piss myself,
Sacrifices need to be made, sir.
You know what? Next time I'll get it depends for the next podcast.
Hey, have you seen them new leather diapers that they make for adults?
Hold up. Leather diapers.
Hold up.
Okay,
It ain't
hold
weird.
on.
It ain't weird. It ain't weird. But these leather diapers that you wear, these dudes wear at mosh pits, so you get up to the concert, right?
Yeah.
And you can't leave because you lose your spot at the stage.
Yeah.
So they make adult style things so you can just keep peeing. And it goes to
Yeah.
a bottle. Yeah, maybe
So-
that's what you need to invest
So
in.
it's like a damn colostomy bag for pee-pee.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So wait a minute.
I mean, they also have catheters. I mean, that's basically the same concept.
It
That's
is.
what-
Except you don't have to I don't have to say it.
Hey,
I don't
you know what though? I fell out of nursing school, but while I was
You have.
in nursing school, I worked at.
Did you fill out or quit?
Little this, little that.
Eh,
Flunked out.
Tomato,
It's
tomato.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
alright, bud.
Either way, I didn't finish. Okay, that's how we're gonna
It's
go with
irrelevant.
that. So, whenever I was in nursing school, I worked at the hospital as more or less a
Oh, yeah, you
CNA.
did. I remember that.
Yeah. You know what though? Real quick, shout out to CNAs because y'all got a tough ass job that nobody gives y'all enough credit for.
and y'all
like
get-
legit. I mean, that goes for all medical field, but I feel like CNAs definitely don't get the credit they deserve.
They don't get paid enough. They do
Oh,
not get
absolutely
paid enough
not.
for the job that they do.
Definitely
Thank
not.
you.
They do like the
Yeah.
they have the worst tasks.
They the
And-
MVPs of the medical field.
Yeah,
MVPs.
and so again, this is probably gonna be one of those things that ends up getting cut out, and if it doesn't, we had these things called they're catheters for men, right? And usually for a catheter for men, it would go inside.
The urethra?
Yes.
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 These we called them penis pedals.
Here we go.
Looked at it.
Here we canceled now.
Hey,
one
no, this is
episode
like
in.
a legit thing, okay?
No, wait, we can do that again.
What?
All right, let's just move on.
Like
Don't
I said,
do
if it
that.
gets cut out, it
We
gets
can
cut
move
out.
on.
If nothing else, we got a cute little TikTok.
we are recording.
Absolutely.
It's not going to come. I don't know how this. Hunter's the IT guy, so that's why we're messed up.
Hey, I told you guys, I'm hardware, I'm not software. You guys fucked up thinking that I need software.
We realized that.
Hey, I never tried to hide it.
I'm
You just assumed.
I'm just here to look pretty, and I'm not doing
Hey,
that.
you know what happens whenever
Well,
you
you
assume?
failed, pal.
You make an ass out of you and me. And that's what the fuck happens with this.
That's very true. Very true. So, actually, we had talked about this several times throughout the last 2 weeks of what we wanted to make our first podcast about.
Yay.
And we didn't stick to any of that.
No, we literally just were, like, legit, what just happened was we started bullshitting and then just hit record on everything.
The first-
And this
Actually,
is
what
we're
happened
doing.
was I pressed record and y'all motherfuckers didn't know it.
I
did
saw
not.
you. I just rolled with it. I was like, I wasn't gonna fight it, you know.
I was stupid, and then I noticed it was recording, and that's when you hear me say, "We just gonna keep going." And he's like, "Yeah, we'll go with it." So that's the best way to do it. I used to listen to a podcast, and that's the way he would do it. He just hit record, and then they start talking, and they're like, "When we going live? Hey, we've been live for 10, 15 minutes." He's like, "What?" And it worked out. It was great. It was great.
Santa Claus.
So hopefully the audio sounds good. I know I'm stressing out about that, but here, I'm going to tell you like this. In true Southern West Virginia passion, if you're looking for perfection, you ain't going to find it here. But what you are going to find is some dudes that are going to try to make you laugh and have fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, I'm trying not to have idle silence here.
So, well, you still keep skipping over our shout outs of the week, so I'm going to let Hunter go.
Hunter had some infatuation with weenie pedals.
Hey, I was just trying to inform you. You start going
Why do
about
we?
leather
Wait,
diapers.
hold on. Why do we need to be informed about weenie pedals, bro?
Hey, you never know.
You never know when time comes for it. So who's
Hey,
your shout out of the week?
Man,
Here.
I'm gonna be sleeping on the couch for a week for over this one.
Oh,
Y'all already know where I'm going with this one. My shout out of the week is the Dallas Cowboys because hey, these shout outs are supposed to be, these rough shout outs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go for it. What you got about the
Jerry
Cowboys?
Jones,
Oh, he's a bum.
come on now, like,
Y'all got destroyed by
let's
Taylor
be
Swift
real.
this year.
Hey, I'm not a Cowboys fan. My girlfriend is.
Oh, hey, I'm
That's the problem. So once she watches this and gets to this point, I just may as well get comfy on the couch. But
I'll save you in a minute. I'll save you.
I don't think you can. But the Titans, they've talked to the Titans, and their GM said that they want to have
bum ass Steve.
the Titans GM said that he wants to have 30 draft picks over the next few years. Okay? Which means that opened the door for Jerry to be able to hire Dion, trade away Dak, trade away draft picks, so the Titans could get Dak, and then the Cowboys could get Shedeur. And the Cowboys literally just ignored all those facts.
Yep.
And still, they had a horrible offense. Don't get me wrong, I will give them credit. Dak got hurt, they had a lot of injuries. That's part of football, though.
That is part of football. Next man up.
Real quick. Sorry about the background noise. My son's having a sleepover, and him and his friend decided to come down here and chime in because we're famous podcasters now.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead about your rant about the Cowboys.
Like I said, I'm not a Cowboys fan. but I'm gonna be sleeping on the couch over this one. But how are you just not even gonna interview? Like, Dion got a second interview. I did hear that, So kudos to Jerry for at least doing that much. But then ignoring all the other shit, Jerry's one extreme or the other. He's either spending ridiculous amounts of money on players that don't deserve it, or not wanting to pay players. Because honestly, if I'm Jerry and I'm looking at, I've got CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, and Micah Parsons, who all three need contract extensions. Why the fuck are you choosing CeeDee and Dak over Micah?
I was about to say, why are we even talking about Dak? He's trash.
I mean, I would still take, if you had to pick two of those three, I'm still picking Dak and Micah over CD. Because you look at receivers nowadays, I'm sorry, CD's been a cancer to their locker room.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you start factoring
Where did
that
he go
in.
to college?
Where did he go to college? Was he Oklahoma?
Boomer!
I do believe
That's
he went to the same college as Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield went to Texas Tech. We already been over this.
Was it one of those situations where he went to school at Texas Tech but played football at Oklahoma?
Yes.
Okay, well, here's the thing. First of all, Coach Prime needs to stay in college. He is the best recruiter in the country. Don't side me. Listen.
I will give him credit on recruiting. All right, I'll give props where they
I know where this is going.
Not only is he the best recruiter, he turned an HBCU player into a Heisman.
Hold up.
He was a five-star recruiter.
He was the number one recruit in the nation that was committed to Alabama.
But where did he go?
I will give him, like I said, I'll give him credit as a recruiter. He did do that. He did flip him from Alabama to an HBCU. Props to him. But this is where I start getting a little, on the edge about shit. Why didn't he stay at that HBCU?
Who?
Dion. And all the players.
You know why?
Because money talks, bullshit walks. I know.
There
but
you go.
Still, you make it out like he went there saying, I want to turn this program around. He did to an extent.
Oh, he did.
But then he left them high and dry.
Okay. But
then what the hell is that? That's like fucking a prostitute and then just throwing money on her and walking out the room.
Grand Theft Auto. But anyways, so yeah, but in the world of sports, even college sports now, it's all about the paycheck. So
very true.
I mean, yes, Dion played in the NFL. Yes, Dion already had money. But do you blame him for chasing money? I mean,
No,
at the end of the day.
All right, but here's the thing. I don't blame him for chasing money. If I could get that paycheck, I would take it too. But don't go on everything saying, I want to turn this HBCU. I want to make a difference. I want to do this.
But he
I want to do
did,
that.
though.
I got to ask you a question about chasing money real quick. Because you made that comment, so I got to ask you a question.
Oh.
20 years ago, there was a man that chased some money.
Oh, come on. Come on.
How long did you hate that man? Rich Rodriguez, by the way.
I mean,
I was still mad at that man when he re-signed with West Virginia until I watched his press conference.
Yeah.
I'm a Rich Rod man again.
Okay, I mean, I'll go with you.
I'm
there.
just playing.
But I mean, I'm just
Hey,
saying.
that's the right person, wrong time. That's all that
Yeah.
was. But sometimes you gotta circle the block back around and be like, hey, you remember me?
One thing we can be thankful for Rich Rodriguez did for us when he left, he made sure Michigan sucked.
True.
But hey, money talks, right?
Yeah.
What's one thing we learned for the national championship? And I'm not hating on Ohio State.
I am.
You know how you win a national championship in this day and age?
Money.
Spend $30 million. That's how you win money. That's how you win games these days. And I hate to say that, but that's what the world's coming to.
Hey, let's talk about some money and look at, they were talking about some stuff. And originally Travis Hunter had said, damn, all I did was mention his name, you perked up. I wasn't even getting into the
I
conversation.
will die on that hill.
Hey, I'm not even getting into that. But he mentioned at one point during the season it would take $40 million for him to stay in college.
Do you?
And I got to think, well, here's the thing. Wherever players go into the NFL Players Association and the NFL agreed that certain picks can only make certain amounts of money. That is a fact, okay?
Yeah.
Like that's a part of their collective bargaining agreement.
Sure.
Stuff. the number one overall pick in the draft is only allowed to get a contract up to $35 million for the entirety of the contract.
Yeah.
So how long? I'm assuming it's going to be the next collective bargaining agreement happens.
It needs to happen. I think it needs to be capped. Not only, let's just look at it.
I think that college, the NIL needs to be capped.
Absolutely.
I think that they need to level that playing field a lot.
Well,
because
that's-
you got like players like Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Even let's just look at Tech even, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Tech lost their best lineman and their best safety. All right, their best lineman, he went to Auburn. All right, Tech's got money. I'm not
Yep.
saying they're a broke college. But they don't got Auburn money.
No.
They lost their best starting safety. They lost their starting safety and their starting corner. Their starting safety went to Notre Dame. Tech's damn sure don't got Notre Dame money.
No.
And Tech's produced a lot of good cornerbacks and defensive backs throughout the years. Whether you love or hate Tech, they have produced some DBs, okay?
Yeah.
So,
Boo.
hey, okay. D'Angelo Hall?
Who's that?
Yeah. Never heard of it.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Never heard
Anyways,
of it.
but the thing that I'm getting at, all right, so their best cornerback, well, second best, their best is going to the NFL. Their second best, which is arguably as good as their best, he transferred to LSU. First of all, fuck the transfer portal.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
destroying, between the transfer
Yeah.
portal and NIL, these kids don't give a shit about a degree anymore.
No, they don't. And I am glad that they changed the transfer portal a little bit, where there's only one 10-day thing. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, but they can. But all they have to do is enter in that period.
Mhm.
They don't have to sign in that period.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, that's the part that because, like, for example, Xavier Turner Bradshaw from Bluefield,
Oh, yeah.
he entered the transfer portal
Mhm.
during the initial period, but he hasn't signed to a new school. Best of luck to him. I'm glad that he went to Tech. If he chooses to go to a different school, best of luck. That's still representing Bluefield.
I heard that if you go to Marshall, they got Tudor's biscuits. Probably not now, Coach left.
Now,
but,
one of the things that I did talk to my stepdad about, because he keeps a close eye on all Marshall sports, because he's an alumni from there.
Mhm.
And one of the things we talked about is they need to, even the NFL has a cap room. Why doesn't college yet? I know allegedly they're supposed to be players aren't supposed to get paid more than X amount, but there's ways around it. They need to
Well-
stop that shit. They need to actually put a cap.
there needs to be a cap on players making money, because that's I went
And
to
they need to make it to where it's attainable for all universities,
Yeah.
like 100,000. Okay,
Mhm.
even
But-
schools like Marshall could afford 100,000.
Well, let me throw this out there. How would it feel to be the head coach of a major college football program? And I say major, I mean D1, whatever conference. It don't have to
Right.
be Power 5, whatever.
No, I get
But
you.
then your star player makes more money than you do.
They won't listen
that's,
to you.
well, that's what I was saying.
And that's why
is,
Nick Saban got out of coaching. The best college coach. I'm sorry.
I'm just aggravating
Fuck
you.
you. You take it
Yeah, I don't want. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Like Nick Saban left college. He was the top coach. Trust me, I don't like Nick Saban.
Come
God,
on, man. He's a prodigal son of West Virginia.
he is. I like him as a person. I like him as a commentator, and I respect all the stuff he did. But dear God, I got tired of seeing Alabama winning all the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the point I'm
agree.
getting at.
I agree. What what was that basketball coach that said that same thing and just retired?
Miami's coach. I don't
No,
remember
it was
his-
like what did UVA's coach?
No, it was Miami's coach.
I don't know who it was, but anyway, he even said what was it? He said something like
You can't tell these kids anything.
you can't tell because they think they don't owe you anything, but you owe them everything.
Yeah.
And the problem that you're going to start running into this is you're going to see a lack of development at the college level.
You are.
College is supposed to be where high school kids go. They go to college, they get a degree, because your chances of making it to the NFL are very slim.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So you're
okay.
supposed to get a degree to be able to fall back on. You're getting a free degree. That should be the incentive.
Well, that's what I was going to hit on a second ago. I went to Division I college. That's $60,000 to $70,000 for a bachelor's degree.
That's more than
That's
what most
free.
people in our area make in a year.
That's free. So let's count that into your payment. Then you got Carson Beck, who just went to Miami Hurricanes. He's going to make $10 million for his senior year.
Well, okay, here's my thing with it. Okay, so I personally think some of these kids come from nothing.
Yeah.
They don't have any family support, or if they do have family support, they don't have enough money to send to them. A lot of these kids. So I think they should be paid enough to be able to go out or whatever,
Right.
or at least be able to sell their memorabilia, their autograph.
Oh, absolutely.
Shout
I
out
do
Reggie
think.
Bush.
Absolutely.
I think they should. I think they should make money, and I think they should get apparel, and I think they should be taken care of because they are. I mean, let's face it. You go out there and you break your leg or you break your arm,
Done.
you're done. You're done. So they should be compensated.
tear an ACL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's where I was getting at though.
Oh, sorry.
What now for these top tier guys? And I'm just strictly talking about your top tier NIL guys. What is the incentive now to even go to the league? I mean, you're already rich.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at earlier. We're talking about, between the NFL Players Association and the collective bargaining agreements and stuff. If all right, Carson Beck, perfect example. He's getting paid $10 million a year.
That's
if the
crazy.
number one overall pick, their contract is typically about 5 years, $35 million. That's about $7 million a year. He's gonna take a pay cut.
Yep.
Going to the NFL.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well,
That should not be a thing, okay? I'm sorry. I get it. And I agree 100% that, if a player sells a jersey with their name on it, they should get a portion of that.
yes.
I mentioned that to my grandpa, and he actually brought it to me, and it's something I didn't think about. He's like, well, but here's the thing, the quarterback's going to sell all these jerseys. What about that lineman that's protecting him? Who's going to buy that lineman's jerseys?
I mean, that as a lineman,
There you go.
I'm 100% with him on that.
And I thought that, and you know what? And whenever he said that I was like, that's a good argument.
We're all football coaches. You can have an amazing quarterback. You can have an amazing running back. You can have amazing wide receivers. But it's like I walk down the line at every single game. Hunter will tell you. He watched me do it. I walk down my offensive line, and I fist bump every one of them. And I slap them on the helmet, and I tell them, you are the most important people on this field today.
It starts with you.
If you don't do your job, nothing else matters. We don't score, and we scored every game. It's a little shade that somebody said we don't know how to run offense at my level. But anyways, we scored every game, and it starts with the offensive line. And you're right. They're not going to get the proper share.
Well, but even in the NFL, if you look at it, their contracts that they sign, even the best linemen don't get the pay they deserve.
No way, except the tackle on the quarterback's blind side. That dude makes some money.
But are you going to compare that to the quarterback's money?
No, you're not.
And here's the thing about that, too. He's still not going to get the money he deserves. And this is coming from a guy, I never played lineman, okay? I was always wide receiver, defensive back, those kinds of positions. I didn't play lineman. But I had all the respect for the lineman because, one person doesn't do their job.
It's over. Don't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
It don't
No
matter.
matter how well the X's and O's looked on paper, how well you practice that play, one person on that line doesn't do their job, you're done for that play.
And they tell you, how long they want you to hold that block for?
3 seconds.
3 seconds. Try fighting a man that is fighting you with everything in your power for 3 seconds. I'm going to tell you, that's hard. And you do it, 60 minutes. And they constantly changing defensive linemen.
Yep.
They don't do that a whole lot. The offensive line's the same dudes.
Unless if there's an injury. That's
So
all.
They getting whooped.
So what we're getting at on this podcast is shout out to the Hogs.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
heck
We
yeah.
got all the respect for them.
Absolutely. I played for Montcalm High School. We played every position. It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
I returned a kickoff one time in practice for a touchdown.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, look. Back to we was talking about there needs to be a cap on pay. Let's go to a different topic in transfer portal. There is literally a kicker or a punter, I can't remember what position, that just entered the transfer portal. Did y'all see his age?
Isn't he 32?
He is 32 years old.
Damn.
At what point
All right.
But wasn't that one player that was like playing his 9th year of college football and he's
Oh, yeah.
crying? I'm like, God damn.
You talking about
boy.
Cam Rising?
Yeah.
Utah's quarterback?
No, it's a different dude.
Oh.
But yeah, Cam Rising, perfect example.
He came into NCAA football the same year as Trevor Lawrence. How many years has Lawrence been in the league?
Yeah. And we can argue that he's great, but Utah still sucks.
Well, what about that DJ guy that came in and was supposed to replace Trevor Lawrence at Clemson? That's bounced around and has done horrible.
DJU?
Oh,
Yeah, I can't.
Hey, I don't know if y'all seen this, but the South got a lot of snow, right? Tallahassee, Florida got 2.1 inches of snow, which is coincidentally more inches of snow, 2.1 inches, than Florida State had wins this year, which was 2.
I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Hey, another thing is, I'm going to get a little angry because I seen all these southern states getting all hammered with all this snow and all this stuff, and they're complaining they need help, they need this. I have family in North Carolina that was affected by that. Shout out to them. And in Virginia and in my area, West Virginia, was affected by that hurricane. What did they tell us? We should have been prepared.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Figure your snow out.
Also,
I was mean, and I'm sorry, but it laid on my heart, man. It was messed up.
I seen y'all in Florida riding on the back of the truck bed with table salt, bro. That's not how you do that. I'm just saying.
Rock salt.
Yeah, hey, but anyway, so we was talking about earlier. We was talking about like players been in the league forever, whatever, this, that, and the other, and or in college forever. So y'all remember Chris Winkie? Y'all remember how long that guy played in college, bro?
Yeah. Who did he play for again?
He played for Florida State.
Florida State. Florida State.
now, one thing I will say, and the one thing that I am all for, is I do believe that players that want to actually go to grad school get extra years of eligibility.
Oh, what about?
Yeah, I get that. If you're wanting to further your education for a master's, a doctorate, there should, you're still in
that's
school.
One thing I will give the NCAA credit for is they do allow that stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not meaning to cut y'all off here.
Go ahead, bud.
But what about the new JUCO rule, where you still could have your 4 years eligibility
because it
after
don't
JUCO?
count?
Yeah. So you're gonna run into a lot more players that's older than normal college age because these guys.
Here, junior college, and I'm going to use it for example, even with Little League and middle school and high school and junior college. Every player's peak and get better at different times.
That's true.
So you may have a 14-year-old kid that's peaking and amazing, and then hits 18 in college and it's terrible. Fizzles out. But you may have a man that's wasn't that great in high school, had to pay his way, walked on to a junior college, peaked at 21.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of one of the things I'm on the fence.
Well,
on.
I mean,
what you got?
Well, I agree with that because they do say that like as far as males go, your body doesn't stop developing until you're 21. All right, that's why the drinking age was 21.
Crazy.
That's like a thing. That's why they decided that the drinking age would be bumped up to 21 because that's when you start reaching more mental and physical stability. So
I'm 36, still ain't hit.
so you know what? And I do get that. And if there's a player that's grinding it out at the JUCO level, and a D1 school picks up on them, and they want to give them more, but now I've got a question though. How does that apply to people like Cam Newton? Cam Newton was Tim Tebow's backup, and then he went to JUCO for a year or two, lit up JUCO, and then Auburn got him. So how does that work? Does he still have? Is that like 2 years of eligibility? Because
honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I just read the article that talked about if they started in JUCO, they could be eligible for 4 years of Division I, or I guess Division II football. So I mean,
well, and I'm all for it. I feel like college football should be more of a developmental league if you start looking at it big picture, okay?
oh, it's not that.
Oh, I know. Now it's more or less semi-pro because they're getting with how much.
No, it's pro. They're getting
Yeah,
paid.
absolutely. I mean, that's fair, but it should be developmental. These kids should be learning. They should be growing. And you know, Nick Saban, arguably the best coach
Oh, you gotta go.
of our time, whether we want to admit it or not, had to step away from the game. Not because of his coaching ability or because of his age or because of any of these X, Y, and Z factors, but because he said, I can't coach these kids because some of these kids are making more money than me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I
And that
mean-
would be frustrating. I mean, think about it, even in our work field.
Oh, absolutely.
I worked
You
in
can't
my-
be a supervisor over somebody who's making more money than you.
Exactly. Well, it's not even that. It's not even that. I've worked at my place. I can't name where I work for 10 years. But if a man comes in there making more money than me, and I put in a decade, I'm gonna feel some type of way about it.
Absolutely, you know,
And I do
worked
feel
with
some
you,
type
and I
of
know
way.
that there was that was definitely an issue that was going wrong.
Yeah. But it's not just there. It's everywhere.
Oh, absolutely,
everywhere.
because you know, at this point, it's like, what's the incentive of staying somewhere? And you know, I know that this is mostly a sports podcast,
And it's
but
loosely.
that's something that's actually been brought up. In, you know, just adult and general life in general.
Yeah.
You know, these people don't want to pay their employees that have been there for years. They don't want to pay them for their loyalty. So, these employees that have been there for years, they'll find out that somebody gets hired the exact same position as them, and they'll come in making more money than the person that's been there for 10 years.
That's when it's time to dip out.
Yeah. Well,
Well, and that's what's happening.
In college
that's what's
football.
happening. Well,
Same
I mean,
thing.
not just college football, but in the workforce in general. Like,
Yeah.
that's just society now. It's like, nobody gives a shit about loyalty anymore.
No, they don't.
They want...
That happens in youth sports, to be fair about it.
Yeah, it does. You know, it's...
That wasn't a shot.
I ain't gonna touch that. I ain't gonna touch
Well,
that.
I mean, but
that
that's
wasn't a
fair.
shot.
I mean, like,
That may be a future episode.
I do feel like that's a big problem with sports and life and everything right now. Is like, people have lost their touch with loyalty.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, there
it
is no
used
loyalty.
to be, you look at, like, let's say you look at the NFL back in 70s, 80s, and 90s. If a player gets drafted by that team, they stayed with that team until they retired unless something happened, basically, you know. Now it's, unless you're just the all-star on that team, rookie contract's up, you hop teams.
You hop.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kobe Bryant.
Hey,
For
hey,
sure.
you know what though? I'll give you credit on that. Yeah, absolutely. Kobe stayed with the Lakers till the end.
Yeah. So who was your shout out?
Hey, I got a question before we hit that.
My,
I'm gonna cut you
my
off
shout out
again.
was the
Oh,
Cowboys
yeah,
in
yeah,
general
yeah,
Cowboys.
for
That's right.
taking their own season apparently.
Yeah.
So I have an off the wall question to ask y'all real quick.
Okay.
We're at an hour and 2 minutes right now.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 5, hypothetically speaking, if this didn't record a thing that we have been talking about for the last hour and 2 minutes, on a scale of 1 to 5, how mad would y'all be? Go.
I would destroy I'd be at 20 and I would destroy this fucking computer and just bring my computer and use it every week.
So, Dad, if you're watching this is these two dropping the F-bomb, not me.
Look, this is one thing.
He was earlier, though.
The
It's
people I
not
work
true.
with,
It's not true.
my family, my mom, unfortunately. She knows who I am. But everybody who knows me knows who I am as a person.
Ain't nothing
I'm
wrong
a
with
good
that, buddy.
person. I just, I appreciate a word that can be used as a noun, verb, and adjective. Okay?
That's fair.
It's a sentence enhancer.
There you
It
go.
absolutely is, And I've seen Stone Sour a lot, okay? Well, I've seen them about 4 times. Their singer is Corey Taylor, okay? He's the same
Slipknot guy.
Yeah, he sings for both.
Yeah. I like it.
And I saw him at Carolina Rebellion. God, I can't remember how. I was probably about 16 at the time.
This really took a turn.
Hey, you know what though? That's what
It-
podcast is about.
If
though.
you go look at our podcast description, first off, I gotta change it because I can't talk. But we talk about sports, outdoor life, and everyday life, and you're getting all of it today.
Speaking of outdoors, it's cold out there.
But I do appreciate that when you went outside went to the restroom a second ago, You closed the door.
Shots
Hunter.
fired. Shots fired.
You closed the door, unlike some people, Hunter.
Yeah.
Well, where I was going with this is, especially in like my teenage years, I went to a lot of concerts. I went to a lot of festivals and shit like that.
Yeah, we can tell
So-
by your hair.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Well, I know that's going on TikTok. Anyways, so one of the concerts I went to was Carolina Rebellion. It was the first year they ever did it. It was, which was awesome. Anytime you get to go to a festival, it's the first ever. It's a hit or miss. It's either it's going to be a one and done or it starts a tradition.
Man, I went to the first ever Mayhem Festival with the Metal Militia and all the metal bands. It was awesome. But anyways, continue. Sorry.
Was Avenged Sevenfold at that one?
No, they're trash, but go ahead.
Okay, I've actually got an Avenged Sevenfold tattoo, so I don't appreciate that.
Well, sorry about
The
that.
best entrance to a football game that I've ever seen.
Don't you
Virginia
say
Tech.
it. Don't you say it.
No, not hardly. Anyways, is the Carolina Cobras Arena
Oh,
Football.
okay.
They come out to Avenged Sevenfold, Hail to the King. It was the coolest thing I ever
Hey,
seen.
after I finished my
Number two-
16K, which is like your last major event in basic training, they played Hail to the King as we were marching in.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But
it was.
I'll give you that.
The number 2 entrance is an ACC school. But
If
it's
you say
in
Clemson.
but it's in Winston-Salem when they all come out dressed in solid black on that motorcycle to ACDC and back in black. It was the coolest entrance I've ever seen.
Shout out.
And I've been to a lot of universities.
You know what though? I can't talk shit about Wake Forest because they actually saved my girlfriend's daughter's life. So you know what?
No,
Shout out to them.
Demon
I can't
Deacons.
give them any hate. So I'll give them some credit.
They're closer to
Hey,
my house than West Virginia. I'll give them that. West Virginia
Hey,
University
so
is way too. Who?
We don't. There's not a school in Blacksburg. We don't recognize it.
Okay.
That's that school
Hey,
down the
but you
road.
know what though? Marshall, believe it or not, has stepped up their intro game. 'Cause
Hey,
they
it's
used
pretty
Thunderstruck.
It is cool.
And
Marshall is cool.
Hey, they've actually stepped it up this year. Even they started adding green smoke to it too.
That's
No,
pretty cool.
look, I will. Speaking of like stuff that hits you down in the core, I'd never been to a Marshall game, and Hunter invited me to a Marshall game last year.
Yeah.
I made a vow to myself that I would never go to a football game in the North, which was anything above Bluefield, West Virginia, in November ever again in my life. And then he invites me to a game to Marshall University in November.
It was mid-November.
It was cold, but I'm like, hell, let's go. I mean, let's do it. So we get there. I'm used to, West Virginia University, Virginia Tech, even Duke, and Wake Forest not so much because you park on the stadium. But I'm used to having to park and walk. You park at Marshall, I'm like, we park and we looking at the stadium.
But, yeah,
I've never been there, so this is new to me. So we're walking, right? And I see the buffaloes, and I'm like, oh, let's go look at these buffaloes, like the statues. I'm like, I gotta see this. Hey, look, anybody that's ever been to Marshall and has not been to Marshall, go to the backside of the buffaloes. It's the detail, the detail. Anyways,
What were you saying? It's got this balloon knot back here. Or
Oh,
what?
absolutely.
it got everything, buddy. It's got everything. But we go into the gym. They're giving out press passes to the recruits, and we're literally standing right there. I even looked at Hunter. I'm like, let's go get one. We didn't because look, we ain't passing for recruits.
We don't look like recruits.
We walked down the sideline with the recruits, did we not?
Yeah.
For Marshall University. Then we get to the stadium, and we're standing there in the middle of the cheerleaders practice, watching them practice. Then we're like, you know what? I'm hungry.
Maybe edit that out.
We literally walked. What? A quarter of a mile across a couple steps across the road to Hardee's, ate at Hardee's, walked inside, watched the ball game. But anyways, what I was getting at is the most, like, I've been to a lot of college football and I've been to a lot of stuff, but the biggest thing that catches you is you watch this video at Marshall. When we went to that anniversary game,
The 75 game they do.
the
every
75 game of the plane crash, and they play this whole video of these Marshall of everything, dedication videos. And then they start their entrance and everything, and they come out and everything's pumped up. When I tell you, you need to go there and experience the "We Are Marshall" chant, that is the most.
It's in
I
chills.
felt it. I wasn't a Marshall fan. I love Marshall now. That is the most closest I ever felt. I loved every bit of it. I brag about that everywhere I go. So that is the most passionate place I've ever seen. It wasn't even half full.
Oh yeah, their stadium is super small and
Yeah.
it's never filled. And I hate that because
It was loud though.
It
Like,
is.
I'm used
It
to
really
60,
is.
70,000 people. There was maybe 30,000?
shit, more like 15 to 20,000.
Yeah. But let me tell you, you feel that down in your core. If you've never been to Marshall and felt that "We Are Marshall" chant, you got to go there.
Well,
If you're in West Virginia, I highly advise you look up next year. It's usually around mid-October. They do their 75 game, okay? It's whatever's closest to November 11th, okay? Because that's, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just doing this off the top of my head. I think that's when the plane crash was.
Roughly, I can't remember.
It's whatever home game is closest to the anniversary of that game.
It's amazing. Amazing.
They do a 75 game.
well,
They come out in all black uniforms.
With the special helmets.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
And they have the names of all 75 people on their helmets.
Is it
now.
down the stripe, down the middle
Yeah,
of the
down
helmet?
the white stripe. They've got
Everyone
all
that
75. That's the entire team, the boosters, the coaches, the pilots, anybody that was involved in that plane crash. And it does.
Crazy.
It does. Like the second you watch that video, and it shows like the footage of the plane. It shows like
It does.
I'm telling you, you could hear a pin drop in an entire stadium. And then you start hearing Thunderstruck start playing.
Mhm. And let me
I'm
tell
telling
you,
you.
Marshall loves to play Thunderstruck.
Oh, you
for
will hear-
everything. First down, Thunderstruck. Sack, Thunderstruck. Interception, Thunderstruck. Touchdown,
Oh, you will hate that
Thunderstruck.
song by the end of the game.
I
but,
know every word to that song now, and I've been to one Marshall game.
but I will say that their environment, especially for the size school they are, is pretty intense.
It was,
and that's from. So the most intense environment I was in was, I know y'all are about to scoff, but it was Virginia Tech, and it was the first. Hey, it was like actually one of the first games of the entire season, the entire college season. It was right after COVID. Okay, so nobody was allowed in the stadiums during COVID. It was the first sold out stadium after COVID. It was a Friday night game. We played number 10 in the nation, UNC. Let me tell you,
is that when they
that-
had Drake May?
it was because I kept saying "fuck Drake May" the whole game. Okay, and Tech stomped them. Okay, because that next season following COVID, I feel like was one of the most important college seasons. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it's because all these quarterbacks you looked at were supposed to be like Heisman caliber quarterbacks, like Desmond Ritter. Okay.
Yeah, Cincy.
Yeah, they said that he was supposed to be like the next big thing. And then they started adding people to the stands. It changed
that
the
changes
entire
dynamic.
environment.
There's people watching you, man. It's
this
crazy.
day, they asked Drake May, what was the most intense environment you've ever played in? And he will still say to this day, it was Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. Because we were loud. Because that was the first game they allowed fans back in after COVID. Like a full stadium. And, you know, regardless of your opinions on COVID or whatever, it was a rough time for everybody
Sure.
in one sense or another.
Yeah.
You know, it was rough on sports especially.
Yep.
But that first game that we were allowed to go back, I'm telling you, I've been to rock concerts. I've been to shooting ranges. Like, I was in the Army. I've been in all types of different environments. That was the single loudest environment I've ever been in
Yeah,
in my entire life.
I gotta agree with you, man. I've been at Lane Stadium before, and I did see an amazing environment there. Very great. You know what it was? It's when we sang Country Roads in Blacksburg a couple years ago. You remember that takeover?
All two sections?
Hey,
Where
Hold
our
on.
section
Let me-
had to go
Since
to class.
you said that, had to go to class. Okay. Since you said that, let's bring it up. So we're down there watching West Virginia whoop a dog shit out of Virginia Tech.
All right, I wouldn't say whoop the dog.
It was 33-10.
What?
But anyways, we're sitting there. Hunter's down little sections down from us. He walks up to us because he rode with us. I'm going to tell the story at your expense. I'm sorry, buddy. He said, hey, man, it's fourth quarter. Tech drops back, throws a pass. We intercept it. Pick six. 33-10, right? Hunter walks up a couple rows and he's like, hey, man, let's go ahead and leave and beat the crowd. And I'm like, what crowd? Y'all done left. It's just us.
It was a Thursday night game. Sorry that our students actually went to class the next day.
Class.
Yeah, exactly.
Class. What was that?
We don't do class.
It was fun. Hey, but I will say, if you do go to Blacksburg and watch a Virginia Tech game, I've been to a lot. I've been to a lot of games. I had a lot of bad experiences at Virginia Tech. No fault to Virginia Tech. I think. I don't know. But anyways, we can't really share a whole lot of that. We may get the guy on here later. I don't know. No tequila involved though. But if you go to Virginia Tech, the first thing you need to do is walk in that stadium, find where that smoke is coming from, and grab a turkey leg.
Oh my God, those fucking
dang, they're
legs.
good.
Those turkey legs are pretty amazing.
If I get invited to a Virginia Tech game and I don't have to pay to go, I'm going. Can you give me that daggone
So
turkey
you said go get you a smoked turkey leg?
smoked turkey leg.
They used to smoking turkeys down there. Ain't
Yeah.
Hey, you wanna know what's sad?
Oh, no.
So I went to the Tech Marshall
No.
game
I'm
this
talking
past
about
year.
on the football field.
I know.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah, come on, man.
hey, I'm going
That's
somewhere
right.
with this, okay?
Look, it's picking us up a lot more now.
So I went to the
that's
Tech Marshall game, okay? Me and Levi and Christina went. It was Levi's first game there. I can't remember if it was Christina's first game at Blacksburg or not, but still. And we were talking, and I got some of the smoked turkey legs for us.
Amazing.
Right? They are. They really are.
I do like smoked meat. I ain't gonna lie about it.
No, we know.
Hey, that turkey leg though.
All right.
But one of the guys behind us, because I bought resale tickets, I'm not even gonna lie, and he looked at us and said, it's really weird. He's just like, why are we the only school that sells our own mascot as food?
That's right.
And I'm like, damn. Like, how are you even gonna respond to that? Like, you're right.
It's a valid point.
Well,
It's a valid point.
I'll tell you what though. We might not agree on college teams. He might be a Hokie fan.
Boo.
And nobody's perfect. He's just gonna walk right out of the
Hey,
studio.
I'm
What I'm
listening
talking
to you a
about.
long time
Hey,
ago.
you know what? He walked by them blue and gold lights, though.
Oh yeah.
I'll piss on him.
I know. Get out of here.
Get out of here. But anyways,
Now we got the Virginia Tech Hokie out of the room.
they suck. They're trash. No, listen. Even though he's a Hokie fan, and we're Mountaineers, and even though the Black Diamond Trophy resides in Morgantown, West Virginia,
And even though we got a winning record against them in, you're going to hit me with the what? In football.
what?
In basketball.
What?
In baseball.
What?
In everything.
What?
Except wrestling.
All right.
Except wrestling.
All right. But there's one thing we can all agree on. Eat shit, Pitt.
Eat shit, Pitt. 100%. Eat shit, Pitt. He's out there yelling, eat shit, Pitt. And like I said, hey, we in West Virginia. We in the basement.
We can say it. If you don't like it, you can.
If you don't like it, you know how you fix it? You turn on Sweet Caroline. And then you listen to it, and it gets to the chorus, and when it goes bump, 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 you say, eat shit, Pitt, make you feel better about your life.
Absolutely.
Make you feel better about your life.
I almost sang for y'all, but I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing for y'all. I'm already making an ass out of myself. So I'm not going to do that. So let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else.
Well, hold on now. I
What we
haven't,
gonna
I
talk
haven't
about?
gave my shout out.
Oh,
of the
go.
week.
I'm sorry.
Shit.
We've been
So-
going an hour and 18 minutes. I'm
so-
lucky to remember what I did 4 minutes
Hey, I don't know
ago.
who's gonna be editing this shit, but
Oh,
God bless their soul.
This is going to be cut raw. This is raw. You getting it raw right now. Wait a minute.
Say Monday night.
shout out
Netflix.
to Adobe Podcast. Anyways, so my shout out of the week is probably going to be Russell Wilson. This dude is terrible at football. He's terrible at
He
it.
used to be good.
He's a system quarterback.
Okay, well, either way, he's making tons and tons and tons of money from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Who's that?
Yeah, they suck.
Actually, technically,
Anyway.
he's making that money from the Broncos. The Steelers only paid him $1 million this year
Well,
because
okay.
he signed one of those fully guaranteed deals.
Wow.
Oh, shout out to Hunter for calling me out. But either way, the dude's not great at football. He's still making bank. And he's married to Sierra. Shout out that guy. Shout out to that
There's
guy.
always a silver lining, guys. There's always a silver
Shout
lining.
out to that guy.
Oh boy.
Hey, speaking of switching up from football, because I feel like we've talked about football this whole time.
We have. It's a different type of sports podcast. Probably don't fact check this. Don't CNN us or Facebook us because we stupid.
It's really weird. I'll just go ahead and snitch on us for a minute because we talked about like having a computer in front of us to be able to fact check each other and stuff throughout the podcast.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
All we can see is our recording bars.
Yeah, all we can see is it detecting voice? Yes, no? Okay, it is. Awesome.
Does it sound good? Possibly. Does it sound terrible?
Probably.
Oh hell, this has been fun. Even though, like I said, we have been literally in the basement for since 8:45 p.m. It is currently 12:41 a.m. And we just can't get stuck to work. It's not us, it's them.
It's not you, it's me.
It's definitely
We've
them.
all heard that. You probably just triggered a bunch of people.
Hey, we don't give out romantic advice.
The hell, man.
Yeah, we're not qualified. We're not qualified for that
No.
at any given point in life. But hey, y'all want to talk about another thing?
Hey,
I was going to talk about some basketball real quick.
Let's talk about some basketball. Oh, no.
Hey, I don't fuck with college, okay? I'm
Okay. Hold on.
Okay. First
Hold
off, can I say something?
We got a fucking Duke fan in here. Go ahead. Say it. Talk about Cooper Flag.
I wasn't gonna talk. I love West Virginia and I love Duke Blue Devils. Mostly, I love Duke since I was a little kid. I love West Virginia since I moved here. Duke fixed my grandpa's heart. Shout out to the Blue Devils.
All right. Then.
Hey, you know what? My
I'll give you
grandpa
that.
does go to Duke a lot for medical treatments too, so I'll give him that.
As a West Virginia fan, I will respectfully ask the AP polls, quit ranking the Mountaineers.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Every time you rank the Mountaineers, we lose. Stop it. We will stay ranked 26 for the rest of our lives. No more.
Hey,
We're not allowed to be ranked.
I'm gonna be real. I think that truly, I know everybody talks about Virginia Tech, WVU. The rivalry comes from being across state lines and all that shit. I think realistically, the reason why we hate each other is because we're the exact fucking same.
Nah, come on now.
Hey, listen. Hey, hold up. You gotta listen to me for a minute.
Oh, boy.
Because, both schools always win the games they should not win. Okay? Absolutely should not win the
Here
game.
we go with this.
Hey, but then absolutely get demolished in games they should blow people out in.
Okay, well, listen, it was 13-9. We're not going to talk about it anymore ever. All right, we're done.
I'm just saying, okay? I feel like that's the biggest reason why the two schools hate each other so much and why the fan bases hate each other so much.
Honestly,
I think it's one of those things where they're too similar.
Honestly, I mostly hate y'all because you're 45 minutes away from my house, and Morgantown's 4 hours. And I just don't like you, if I'm being honest.
That's a big personal problem.
I've been to a lot of Virginia Tech games. That's all I can say. I've been to a lot. As far I got little kids. I got a teenager. I wouldn't take my kids right now to a West Virginia or a Virginia Tech game because it's just too many damn people and it's rowdy. So I just recently took my kids to a Duke Blue Devils football game.
Hold on, time out.
Right.
Listen. Somebody's riding a motorcycle outside. It is 20 degrees.
It can't, what? Okay, it's 25 degrees and somebody is riding a motorcycle at 1 a.m. Shout out to that man because he is Billy Badass himself.
Doug says,
Don't know if y'all heard that.
We're doing a podcast in the basement in Southern West Virginia. Like somebody riding a motorcycle.
And I guarantee you, I didn't see him, but I guarantee you he had no helmet on.
Bet on it.
Oh, absolutely. And I guarantee you, it was a dirt bike.
You know where he went? He went to S&S up here at the liquor store, and I guarantee he's loaded up. Can we give one more shout out to the S&S guy? I bought this Dr. Pepper Blackberry, and we were on to something. This is great. And he said, and I said, it's great. I said, but you know what'd make it even better? I don't drink.
Allegedly.
I don't. But I said, if we could find liquor to go with this, it'd be great. He said, you know what? Me and you, we're going to talk about this. We're going to, what did he say?
Boozify.
We're going to boozify this Dr. Pepper. He said, I don't know if that's a word, but it is now. And I was like, I almost said, I'm about to record a podcast and I'm going to talk about that. But I didn't want to tell him because, I mean, we ain't. I'm probably going to go back and tell him.
Nah.
That's some real Squidbillies. I ain't even lying. Because, well, you said you never even watched Squidbillies, but on that episode where he's like, you can't fax coffee. Coffee don't fax worth a damn. And he's like, faxify.
Yeah. It's a car facts.
Anyway, shout out Unknown Henson.
So, man, we've been going strong. I don't know if I don't even know if I want to listen this back. They're going to be like, what in the hell are these guys talking about? They didn't talk about 15 things.
No.
But let's talk about one rapid fire thing for college football. I know we're going to talk about basketball,
Hold on.
but we stopped it.
You know what we probably sound like?
What?
We probably sound like fucking Boomhauer on King Henry. You're like, man, that day old Mike, man, that day old Mike.
Rapid fire question for
Alright.
football.
All right.
Okay.
You don't even have to be a fan of the team. What's
Alright.
one team that you want to see? We'll start with Drew. That you want to see in your lifetime. One college football team.
That I want to see live?
Yes, in person.
I'm trying to think of the teams I haven't saw.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here. And I'm gonna say I want to see a game in their home stadium of the Washington Huskies.
Ooh.
Just because, man, they hit them purple lights and it's a whole nother thing over there.
Yeah. You gonna say you said stadium and thing. What about just one team that you could see if they came to West Virginia? We'll go two. One stadium, one team that you want to see.
I'm gonna go Oregon Ducks.
Ooh,
That's who I was
took
thinking.
my name.
Those
That was my
uniforms.
Yeah.
Especially if it's away,
Oh,
those like
yeah.
white and chrome uniforms and
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't hate Oregon. I don't.
I don't hate Oregon at all.
Hey, I will say this: if I have to choose, like going somewhere, hands down, no debate, no question in my mind, Penn State whiteout game.
Ooh, that's good.
I hate Penn State, bro.
That's a
Hey,
good
but
one.
that whiteout game, you
Yeah,
can't tell me
okay.
that wouldn't be one of the
Yeah.
best things.
I'll tell you an entrance that I would like to see in person. Would be
Wait, time out. Let me answer because I know who you're about to say.
Alright.
Okay, what's the other team you wanted to see? You said stadium, didn't you?
Yeah, I just said stadium. I want to like if I had
What's
to
the
go
other team?
a team that I could see. Like, I was gonna say Oregon, but you know I don't want to sound cheesy.
Ah, man, you good.
Who would I want to see? Because I mean, I would have said like a Saban-led Bama team, not because I would have liked them, but you know, you gotta give credit where credit's due. Saban did do a lot. That's tough now. Like if you just had to see a team like away. Damn, that's a tough one.
Any team.
Any team?
Any team in college football.
Even though I've already kind of seen them, I'd say Notre Dame if it's away, just because of those fucking golden helmets and shit.
We won't talk about
Hey,
that
but
story.
but I want to emphasize that it's got to be postseason where they actually put their names on their jerseys. Because I do respect the fact that they make them earn the right to have their name on the back of the jersey.
I
So-
mean, if I was going to see Notre Dame, I'd want to go see Touchdown Jesus, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
So I kind of piggyback off Hunter here. I don't want to say it's a 3-part answer, but the team I really wanted to see in my lifetime, I did get to see, and it was Notre Dame, for the simple reasons them gold helmets, and they are magnificent in person.
Oh,
They're
we even got
beautiful.
to see them in a night game. So
They
those
were
lights
beautiful. They were
reflecting on-
glistening.
I gotta
They-
give them credit.
They were glistening, and you know what we got to listening to? The Notre Dame fight song when the fourth quarter hit 0 in Blacksburg.
Hey, but you
So-
also got to hear Inner Sandman before the game started.
So the team I'd like to watch.
What, in their
Team.
Stadium?
No, this is just any team.
Oh.
I already got to watch Notre
Oh,
Dame.
okay.
It's Oregon, obviously. That's
Okay.
what I want to see is Oregon. Oregon. The stadium that I want to go and enjoy a night game, Texas A&M University. I want to see the 12th man. I want to hear Kanye West's Power. I want to see them towels a flying.
Well,
Amazing.
last time I
Amazing.
went to Morgantown, they played Power on the entrance, so you can do that. But the entrance that I want to see is the Florida State Seminoles. I want to see
Ooh,
Chief ride out on
yeah.
the horse, plant his spear,
Yeah.
do the chop, the
Hey, I'd
whole
like
deal.
to see USC's
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
Spartan,
Spartan
Trojan.
The Trojan come out and playing his sword at the 50-yard line.
You know who has a badass entrance during Halloween?
Who?
Tennessee Volunteers. Look it
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Where they do the black and
The
orange.
stroke. Boom,
Yeah.
boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Scott, if you listen to this, y'all, Tennessee sucks, but the entrance is great.
Yeah. Definitely.
I did get to see Tennessee live in Charlotte.
I've seen Tennessee. I went to a Lady Vol softball game. They're a really good softball team.
That's one thing that West Virginia's missing out on. We need a softball team.
Yeah, I watched them play Ole Miss down at their field. Yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
good.
That's nice. So that's rapid fire. Now let's talk about college basketball coliseums. I've been in 3. Obviously, I've been in the Coliseum in Morgantown.
We know where this is headed.
I've been in the Castle in Virginia Tech. That's what's called the Castle, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually really super nice. I'll give them that. They got a really nice ball court. I have been in Cameron Indoor Stadium.
For a game or
Not
just
for a
visit?
game. Not for a game, but I've been on the court and I've been in the rafters and I've seen where they put the announcers and it's terrible. But if I could go anywhere to watch a basketball game, they closed the Rupp Arena, didn't they?
No,
Did they?
Is it still open?
no, yeah,
Yeah, I
so,
think so.
I saw.
I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Kentucky Wildcats when Calipari was there. That's where I wanted to be for basketball.
Well, I'm about to really ruffle your feathers, pal.
Uh-oh. You say North Carolina, I'll leave.
Chapel Hill.
Ooh,
Hey,
boo.
you know what?
Ooh.
With me and Christina, we have very different
I like
teams
this
for everything. But there's only one team her and I both agree on. And that is college basketball. And that's UNC. So I'm right there with you. I want to see, if I could, if money was no object, if I had to choose, I would go see a Duke UNC game at
okay.
UNC.
Oh, yeah. You
Absolutely.
bet. Can I ask y'all a question watching this? The man wants to go watch the Duke North Carolina game. I want to watch the Duke North Carolina game. You want to watch the Duke North
I
Carolina
said
game?
Chapel Hill.
Like, share, comment, and follow us so we can go watch a game. Because the way my bank account set up currently, I can't even watch them on TV.
Hey, listen. Hey, we'll take y'all along. We'll go live.
Oh, absolutely
Live.
we will.
Hey, I don't want to run into this next episode of what we're going to talk about. Because I think the next episode, we're hitting on it right now, but I think next episode we need to talk about some outdoor stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Some outdoor stuff.
Yeah. Definitely. I feel like this has been dominated by sports.
It has, and that's great. That's great.
I mean, we could always go ahead and cut and then start another one. Because that's what
Might as
that's
well.
what the
2
initial
episodes
gameplay
in.
was, wasn't it?
2 episodes. You know, like I said, y'all getting the raw, uncut, whatever you want to call it. Hey, never mind. We ain't gonna go there. Me and Drew's old, so every time I hear somebody say uncut, I think of BET at like 2 in the
Oh,
morning.
bro, that was the best. Hey,
Yeah.
well, I ain't
Before
gonna
my
say that. But
It was before your time, but it was great times.
But listen. I'm just gonna leave that there. I ain't gonna say nothing.
So
I
y'all
was gonna say.
Y'all want to end episode 1?
Hey, listen. We appreciate you guys too. We've been on here for an hour and a half talking nonsense. Don't fact check us. We might be fake news. Who
I'll
cares?
fight you if you fact check us. I'll probably lose though.
I'm fat now, Shake. We ain't doing that. But listen, we appreciate y'all for real.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Good.
Hey, you know what? We did exactly what we planned to do, you know? We're 3 guys in a basement, freezing our ass off
It
in
is
the
cold.
middle of January.
We ran out of propane in our heater.
No, we don't even have a heater right now, but we're doing this for y'all.
I'm glad I got 2 shirts on because I'd probably cut through them right now.
Yeah.
They are there.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
appreciate anybody that's lasted this long. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the likes, all the support, all the follows. Trust me, we notice all of it. I swear, it's about every other follow we get. We're posting in our group chat about it. So if you think that your support isn't noticed, you're wrong.
Hey.
Oh,
we
hold up.
notice everything.
Hey,
Grab
okay.
our 500
Hey,
followers.
actually-
One more shout out first. One more shout out. Jimmy Shrewsbury, meet me. I got your damn money.
hey, we promised. What was it? 250, 150, something like that.
250 followers, we gave away a $25 gift card.
Hey, so for
$25
500.
We're close. The last I checked. Well, actually, we'll check it live right now together, live and living color. Hold on, my hands is cold. I can't
He's
roll.
got to get off Pornhub. I'm just kidding.
It's not loading. 414 followers as of right now. Go
Hey,
ahead, take
so-
it away, Hunter.
86 followers from now, whenever we hit 500, we're going to go ahead and give away this little blaster pack. 90 cards, Panini, Donruss football.
He can't read.
Hey, hey, but I'm going to just go ahead and let you guys know.
Let's see. Let me see it. Let's see what you got a chance to get in here. Look for Blaster exclusives, Donruss threads, or rookie phenoms, and jersey memorabilia, which means you could get a patch in here. And if you do, I want it back.
Hey, I'm going to let you guys know, though. I bought 2 packs whenever I got this one. True story. I sent them the pictures of it whenever I got it. Whenever I got this, I had to choose between that one and then the one that I ended up opening. The one I ended up opening, I ended up getting an auto out of it. A Michael Penix Jr. auto. So you know what? There was some good luck going into it. So make sure you guys like, follow, tell your friends, your neighbors, your grandma.
Let's see.
Probably not your grandma, though.
We got
No,
we
tell
got
her.
we got TikTok, the basement, 3, I think. We
Something
got
like that.
Facebook. Search up the basement. We'll put the logo on this video. This video is going on YouTube.
We got a YouTube coming. More
Hey.
content. We're gonna have different type of content throughout the year on YouTube, which is come back for episode 2 because we're gonna talk about what we about to do in the build up to one of our probably one of the funniest YouTube videos you're ever gonna see for outdoorsmen because
In the history of the world.
in the history of the world, absolutely. So with that, like I said, we don't talk politics. We don't really want to go into religion or anything like that because that just creates too much division. However, all I am going to say as my ending is if you're ever down, just look up because that's where all the answers is. So, I know that's where I want to hit with it.
I want to end with this.
Go ahead.
Hunter pulled a Michael Penix autograph rookie out of his card box that he got. The last time the Falcons plugged in a quarterback that had a name that rhymed with Mel Genitalia, he was really good. So, probably
Hey,
good.
where did he come from?
Huh?
Where did he come from?
Prison.
Oh.
Hey, you know what though? We're gonna touch on this in a later episode.
Later episode. We
But-
got to end it. We
Hey.
have to end it.
Hey,
I'm
real
cutting you
quick,
off.
though.
I'm cutting you off, sir.
Hey, real quick though, before we get into that, what I want to end with is, wherever I was approached about this, it was, we want to talk about sports, but ultimately we just want to be positive, because here's the thing, all of us have different opinions on something, they may both be Mountaineer fans with football, but at the end of the day, we always respect each other's opinions. We've all had debates amongst each other about different things, but we can at least respect each other's opinions. And that's the one thing we want to press upon everybody. Everybody's always going to have a different opinion from you, but you can still respect it. You may not agree with it, but you can respect it and still get along.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the biggest things we want to push. It's okay to think differently from somebody, and that's fine. But you still got to respect everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that, we appreciate you guys tuning in today. We're an hour and 36 in. If you've stayed this long,
Thank you.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
We know the audio don't sound great. We're going to upgrade some stuff. We're just trying to get started, get off the ground, get some solid listeners. We're going to be on all podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts,
Boom.
Spotify.
Bam!
Boom!
I don't even know what all there is out there. We're just going to put our podcast out.
We're going to do this like the Catalina Wine Mixer podcast.
Yep, this is the Catalina Wine Mixer. But anyways, no, we appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Thank y'all.
For real,
Thank
for real.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, don't judge us because we about to record episode 2. We're going to be in the same clothes. We ain't nasty.
Or maybe we are.
Hey.
What just happened?